¿Cómo se llama?
Antonio Montana. And you? What you call yourself?
Where'd you learn to speak the English, Tony?
In a school. And my father, he was from the United States. Yeah, just like you know.
Today we're going to look at, I think, probably my favorite film of all time, Scarface. We'll watch one scene of it in honor of was the 40th anniversary of the film, 1983. This very, very violent and unique film came out and kind of rocked cinema. And Ryan's never seen the movie, so but I'm going to start with effectively the first scene of the film, the first real scene. Actually, it's a remake of the original Scarface with Edward G. Robinson, I believe. That it was taking place in the bootleg era of alcohol, right? That gangster. So this is sort of a modern version where it's like about cocaine trafficking in Florida, in Miami specifically, as a result of Castro emptying his prisons and sending them to the U.S., mixed in with other refugees. So this is the Scarface interrogation scene.
He was a Yankee. He used to take me a lot to the movies, you know. I learned. I watched the guys like Humphrey Bogart, James Cagney. They teach me to talk. I like those guys. I always know one day I'm coming here, United States.
So where's your old man now?
He dead. He died. He's sometime, somewhere.
Mother?
She dead too.
What kind of work you do in Cuba, Tony?
Oh, you know, things. I was construction business. I work a lot with my hands. I was in the army.
Yeah. Any family in the States, Tony? Any cousins, brother-in-law, anybody?
Oh, nobody. Everybody stayed.
You ever been in jail, Tony?
Me? Jail? No way. No.
Been in a mental hospital?
Oh, yeah. The boat coming over.
What about homosexuality, Tony? You like men, huh? You like to dress up like a woman?
What the is wrong with this guy? Am I kidding me or what?
Just answer the questions, Tony.
Okay. No. Okay? No.
Arrested for vagrancy, marijuana,
Never mind.
heroin,
No, nothing.
cocaine?
No.
Where'd you get the beauty scar, tough guy? Eating.
I'm not going to get a scar like that. This was when I was a kid, you know?
Mm-hmm.
You should see the other kid.
First thing that you notice here is that it's all one shot, right?
Yeah.
We haven't cut yet, and it's just this is a Brian De Palma thing. So several other directors are masters of it. We're also hearing a lot of people off camera, and but you're really like basically spinning around, you know, the central character, really getting to know him by, you know, just this single shot. But you also feel closer to him because when you're interrogated, you know, you're alone and you're not seeing who's talking to him. Like you see a guy here or there, and this is his arm, but they're all disconnected from humans. The only human in this is our anti-hero, Tony Montana.
You can't recognize him.
And this?
First cut.
Oh, that's not. That's for my sweetheart.
Sweetheart, my ass. You've been seeing more and more of these. Some kind of code these guys use in a can. Pitchfork means an assassin or something. You want to tell us about it, Montana, or do you want to take a little trip to the detention center?
Okay, you got me. I was in a can one time for buying dollars. It was a big deal.
That's pretty funny, Tony.
No, that's true. It was a Canadian tourist.
What'd you do, mug him first? Get him out of here.
Come on. Let's go.
Wait, so I come on. Let me talk to this guy. Please, let me talk to him a minute. You a communist? Huh? How'd you like it? They tell you all the time what to do, what to think, what to feel. Do you want to be like a cheap? Like all those other people, man? Bah, bah.
I don't have to listen to this.
You want to work 8, 10 hours, you own nothing, you got nothing? You want a chivato on every corner, man, looking after you, watching everything you do, everything you say, man? Do you know I eat octopus 3 times a day? I got octopus coming out of my fucking ears, man. I got the Russian shoes, my feet's coming through. How'd you like that? What do you want me to stay there and do nothing? Hey, I know criminal, man. I know a thief. I'm Tony Montana, a political prisoner from Cuba. And I want my human right. Now, just like the president, Jimmy Carter says. Okay?
Carter should see this human right. It's really good. What do you say, Harry?
I don't believe a word of this, because they all sound the same to me. That son of a Castro is all over us. Send this to Freedom Town. Let them take a look at him.
Look
Get
at
him
that
out
guy.
of here.
You know something? You can send me anywhere. Here, there, this, that. It don't matter. There's nothing you can do to me that Castro has not already done.
Get him out of here.
That's it. So what'd you think, Ryan?
Okay, so first of all, just Pacino's voice, it's so
Yeah.
deep and arresting. You hear it and you're just like, what? That's this guy? I mean, like the voice looks way huger and foreboding than this dude,
Yeah.
smallish dude in the Hawaiian shirt. And then
Yeah.
then it's like he's running the room. He's being interrogated, but he's fully in charge. He's fully in
Yeah.
control. The way he's just handling all of it. I mean, he's denying having done anything criminal, but he's too sharp. His wisecracks are too fast. Anytime he gets accused, he knows exactly what to rebuke with what kind of wisecrack and exactly what to say he had no part of. Like when they say, where, whatever he said he got in a fight with a kid. He's like, you should see the other one. Like that's the part where he's like, he's admitting that he was violent, but it puts him in a power position. And then in the end, when they try to drag him away, somehow he gets them to stop, and then the interrogator sits down. Now the interrogator is being interrogated, which is blocking. It's definitely a directorial blocking move to flip the tables so that the interrogator is being interrogated, and it's kind of unbelievable. Like they're about to drag this guy out, and then next thing you know, the interrogator sits down. But that's what's great about cinema is that even if the things are unbelievable, when you're seeing them, you're seeing them. It's happening. Like it's happening. The interrogator sat down for whatever reason. He got tired, and then Montana starts interrogating him.
Yeah.
And then as it escalates, it sounds like he's kind of getting through to the tall, skinny white guy.
It almost worked. It almost worked.
Almost worked. But then the interrogator says, says, I don't believe any of this. And as an audience member, you're totally charmed. Like you want him to win. You feel like he's being persecuted, mistreated. Like I don't know the movie at all. I don't know the character. I've never seen any of this. And I feel like, no, he's not a criminal. I mean, at this point, I don't think he's a criminal. I think he's a tough player, hustler, trying to get out of Cuba. I believe him that they can't do anything to him worse than Castro's done. I believe that in this scene. But I don't really feel that I don't feel that he's a criminal, that they're saying he's a criminal or he's violent or something's going to happen. Something's going to go down when he's loose on the streets.
Yeah, that's really interesting. I didn't think about, I mean, I haven't watched this in a while. I didn't think about how the roles were sort of reversed because the interrogator actually sat down. That's really cool that it went the other way, because you're so into Tony when he's sitting down. Now he's up. And I always just thought of that part as, he gets on this soapbox and starts, claiming refugee status. It's a great monologue. But I didn't think about how the role reversal, because he's like, how would you feel about this? What would you do about this?
Totally.
And and the taller one who currently is like, trying to grab him or whatever. I guess those two guys are the like bailiffs or whatever, security versus the interrogator, one of them almost believed it. And I think that's really interesting that it almost worked, because he is BSing. Like, he has an assassin tattoo on his finger. He is coming straight out of a prison. Um, but you don't know that, and it doesn't matter because you're on his team. Like, however, that long take, I believe, gets you. It's so intimate, right? And you want this guy, even if he is a criminal, you want him to succeed. You don't like the interrogators. You don't like anyone else in the room. He's your guy. And I think it's like one of the best ways to show one, or to show an audience, to get an audience hooked on a character, even though I mean, he's the protagonist, he's your guy. He may be an anti-hero, but you want him to win in whatever he's trying to do. And unfortunately, he loses this scene, but that makes him even a stronger,
That he's
protagonist.
gonna win no matter what. Whatever, he's gonna get what he wants. The
He's
conviction.
trying, and anyone wants to try like that. I mean, we're all in situations, criminal or not, right, where we're pleading to get something, and a lot of times the answer to that plead is no. So again, like, you made the character sympathetic by him losing in this scene, right? You want him to win, and I think it's a fantastic way to start a gangster movie. Like, a lot of times the gangster movie starts with someone getting shot or some other, some gangstery type of thing. This is not gangstery. This is a conversation. I mean, I guess it's an interrogation room, but it doesn't feel like, in this sort of age of true crime interrogations, like, this is the most cinematic interrogation in the space.
And like,
We're used to
just
that like couple of angles, that are just flat, nothing's happening. This camera's like spinning around this dude. You got all this like sound coming from here and there. It's like very complex.
And the acting is like so off the charts. Like, he's so method in there. It's like, look at those eyes. Look at the eyes. Like, he's totally a maniac. Like, there's no way he's anybody but Tony Montana at this
Yeah,
point.
I mean, this is one of those things that there's always been criticism of, whether it's casting criticism. Why is an Italian American actor playing Cuban? That type of stuff. But I mean, look, acting crosses all cultural lines. Men used to play women, this, and obviously from, like, you can analyze this a lot of ways and say, why is he in this? Well, one reason is that he made the remake, right? It's his production, Al Pacino's production, and his manager wanted to, like, bought the rights to this project, said we're doing a remake. This is obviously in his career post, The Godfathers 1 and 2. He's already established as a cinema legend from The Godfathers. And now he's doing a different take on a gangster, a modern take on the Scarface. And I think it was James Cagney, not Edward G. Robinson. I'm not sure, but he says James Cagney. And I think that reference in here, he's like, I used to watch these stars, like James Cagney, is a reference, right? So the reason why the Italian American is playing the Cuban American is because he made this movie. I think he picked a perfect platform. It's a really hard part for anyone to become a Cuban criminal, whatever. And I think he does a great job because he does not resemble Marco Corleone at all. He does not resemble any other character that he's played in his whole career prior or since. So whether or not he's spot on with the accent or something like that, I would say Al Pacino did a fantastic job as Tony Montana, because there's only one Tony Montana, and he is that.
I don't know the movie at all. I didn't know that he was Cuban. Like, coming into it, I didn't know he was gonna be Cuban. And the accent, I mean, he fully embodies this character. I mean, you can just see it in the eyes. There's no way he's not this Cuban gangster, whatever he ends up becoming. I don't know what he ends up becoming or who he really is at this point. But yeah, those questions didn't even. I mean, I was kind of like, oh, he's playing a Cuban, but then it was like it was so fully embodied this character that it, you're completely. He's so magnetic. You're completely won over by him, and and you can see he's got something up his sleeve, and you actually just want to know. You like him. You like him off the bat. He's definitely so much quicker than anyone else in the room, and he's in the weak position. So yeah. Amazing opening scene.
That's well put. Yeah. Yeah, he's like like kid who's just kind of scheming a little bit. You can tell but you want him to like try it and succeed because he's like, I don't know, he's very endearing,
Well, and then he
strangely
pulls the
endearing gangster.
he pulls the sob story thing out too, where he's been oppressed.
Yeah.
He's a refugee, like he's the victim here. But it's like, how could somebody with that amount of street smart and savvy, how could he be the victim really? But you're like, that's what you want to know. Who is he?
Well, yeah,
like, he's so comfortable. He's so trained. Like, most people, even confident people, even if you're totally in the right being in the interrogation room, like a customs interrogation like that or whatever this is, even if you're completely in the right, it's hard not to incriminate yourself because you're nervous and you're squirming. This guy is fully comfortable in this situation. It's like he knows how to run it in there. He's been there so many times. He's almost enjoying it.
Yeah, well, yeah, it seems a precursor to you'll learn in the movie with the next scene that we do with Scarface. You'll learn why he can be really cool in the interrogation scene. It's not the only interrogation scene in the movie.
And also, Bill's been after me for years. I mean, this is his favorite movie, and I still have never seen it because waiting for the right moment. And now it's coming back out in theaters. So props to Pacino. I'm gonna go see it in the theater. That's amazing to be able to get to see this in the theater. So everybody go check it out in the theater if you haven't seen it, or if you have, get to see it on the big screen again. That's what it was meant for.
Yeah, I highly recommend it. I saw the 20th anniversary back in 2003 in the theater, and that was my first time seeing it in theater. And as many times as I had seen it on HBO or whatever on TV, it was cropped and letterbox or not letterbox, pan and scan. You put it on that big screen, it's really larger than life. So it's limited time on theaters, I'm sure, but if you're able to catch it, definitely see it or wait till the 50th anniversary in 10 years. But yeah, cool, man. I'm glad you liked it. We will follow up with at least one, maybe a handful of other. I'd love to do a very famous scene, and then we'll do. There's a couple interesting montages which we don't really do as much as well as we used to back in the 80s. But the Scarface has a couple. We'll probably do one of those as well.
Nice. Yeah, that makes we got to do Intro to Raising Arizona. Speaking of montage, that's probably the all-time best. And that'll get me out of my Star Wars pigeonhole.
Yeah, that's cool. All right, man. Well, till next time.
Yeah.
Love that scene.
Love that scene.